Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome to this episode of Be the Wolf. Today, I'm going to talk about something that's probably on everybody's mind. What are my goals for the next year? What are my goals for 2025? And how am I going to actually achieve them this year as opposed to whatever you did last year? So I want to talk to you about one thing that you can do to make your goal achieving much more successful and, quite honestly, a lot more fun. And I'll talk about personal goals in this episode and business goals because the process is the same. What needs to be behind the goals and how we move forward to achieve them is the same, whether you're talking about a personal goal or a business goal. So here is what I need to talk to you about. Now, you have these goals, you have these things that you want to create, you have this ideal life, ideal business, all of these things that you think will be the formula to make you happy and to make you feel good and to give you all of the things that you want. But here's the thing. A lot of those things, a lot of those goals that you think you want, you're not actually focused on the right thing. So you might think that, oh, I have to bring in $1 million in revenue this year, or 10 million, or 3 million, or 500,000, even 100,000. But why is it that you think you need to do that? Why do you have that goal? Your motivation matters. What's driving your reason for needing to achieve that monetary amount matters. So let's look at a goal that probably a lot of people can relate to: losing weight. Because I feel like everybody's struggled with this or has had friends that have struggled with it, or maybe you wanted to gain weight, whatever it was. But let's look at why people want to do this. Why do people want to be healthy and have that great body? So a lot of times it is so that they can get something else. It's not really about the great body. It's about getting a romantic partner. It's about being liked and being respected and being treated well. So a lot of times a goal like losing weight or getting a great body has to do with how other people see you. And you think that if other people see you in a certain way, then they'll give you that thing that you actually really want. So it could be love. Maybe you want love. And so you are working out, you're being successful, you're doing all the right things. And then oftentimes you see this. I know you've seen your friends do it, and you probably have done it too. Once you get that thing that you wanted, so maybe now you get that great relationship, and then you just let your body go. And you can begin to see that it was never about having a good body. It was about achieving the love, getting somebody to love you. And the same with business. A lot of people's business goals are about getting people to like you, to love you, to fill your needs. I see this in my male clients all the time, that I have to be successful before I can have a girlfriend, a serious girlfriend. They might have casual things, but a lot of times there's this feeling that they're not worthy enough for love until they have the success that they think they, quote, should have. And then they can have the love. But until then, they won't take anything seriously or dive into a more serious relationship. So again, going back to that, I have to have this great body so that I get ... so that I get the love, so that I get the respect, so that I feel worthy, so that I can show everybody that I'm good enough, so I can prove my mom wrong when she said I was a fat little cow, or whatever it might be. So, but you can see that losing weight is not actually the goal. The goal is about something else. And the reality is, those goals aren't achievable because they rely on other people. You can't achieve a goal that requires somebody else's opinion to make it true. Because the reality is, the only opinion that matters is yours. When it comes to actually achieving a goal, the only opinion that matters is yours. So if you got the great body, if you got the success, built the business, and you didn't get the love, if that's what you were subconsciously really after, then you would never feel satiated, because that goal, what you were striving for all along, even though you probably didn't even realize it, that goal was about somebody else's opinion. And so until your opinion is that you made the goal, you'll never achieve the goal. So you'll never have the love until you can give yourself the love. You'll never have the success until you feel like you're a success. And that means doing the things that make you feel good, not somebody else, not what you think you're supposed to do. So let's look at money, right? Because a lot of you listening are business owners, and let's face it, the reality is most of our yearly goals are about money. So let's say your goal is $1 million in revenue for 2025. We'll just make it a nice, even round number, easy. So what is the reason you want that? What are you trying to create with that goal? If you achieve it, what does you think that it will give you? What does it make room for? What does it create? So a lot of people want money so that they can feel safe. They want that $1 million in revenue because then they would feel safe. Then they feel like their company would be on stable footing. They wouldn't have to worry it so much. They could pay their employees. They wouldn't have to worry about all this crazy stuff, all these horrible things that might happen. And I have to prepare. I need $1 million so that I'm prepared in case everything falls to shit. The thing is, there's not enough money to protect you from everything being taken away. The thing is everything could be taken away in an instant. We could have an earthquake and everything could fall into the ocean. It could be taken away. So there is no safety. That goal is not achievable. There is no ultimate safety. And so if you're trying to build money so that you can feel safe, you're never going to get there. That goal is not achievable. One of my clients, she worked on her sales, as a lot of us entrepreneurs do. And because she had really big ticket items, she wasn't selling one every week at that time anyway. Today is a whole different story. But so she set herself up and saved money and figured out her budget so that she would have 6 months worth of savings. And she said to me, Genea, I don't feel any different. I still feel like I'm on shaky ground. I don't feel safe, even though I know I'm financially covered for 6 months. That if I didn't do anything, I wouldn't have to worry about anything for 6 months. But the thing is, she didn't create safety with that money. She didn't really create anything. She gave herself a buffer. But what she did do that she didn't realize was she gave herself freedom to lean into creating from a different place. But the problem is she was still worried about the money. So even though I have 6 months of everything saved and I'm totally good for 6 months, what's going to happen after that? Oh my God, the world is going to collapse and I'm not going to have enough and la, 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 la. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have felt that. You've achieved the goal. but it didn't feel like it was enough. Once you got there, the goal was not enough to give you that thing you were really after when you were trying to create the goal. So the money did not make my client feel safe. The money is not going to make you feel safe. What do we do to actually create money in a way that is different? The bottom line is she would never feel safe. My client, your friend, whoever will never feel safe because the money can be taken away at any time. What will make you feel safe is the belief that you can create what you need. So my client that I was speaking of, she used to, every time she was having trouble making ends meet, she would run out and get a second job. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it became her go-to strategy. When she didn't feel safe, she would like run out and chase somebody to fill up her needs. Like, I'm going to go work for somebody else and they will fill up my financial needs. They will make me feel safe. But this cycle never again, and never created that feeling of safety. And so I will never forget the day when she's like, oh, she sent me a message. She said, all of the learnings are starting to come together. I'm starting to really understand. I was worried about making rent and paying all the bills, and I was about to go out and get another job. And then all of a sudden it just clicked. And I realized what I had to do was sit down and keep creating. And this is the big word here. We're talking about create. So her bigger goals were to create things for her clients and to make their lives better. And so she, instead of running out and getting that job, she sat down and continued doing the work to move towards creating those bigger picture goals for herself, for her clients. And of course, something came through. If you really work on focusing on the creating, usually what you need will come through. But you have to, in order to do that, you have to get out of the state of worry and the state of fear. So if you're worried there's not going to be enough, you cannot create from that place. So if you're working towards a goal and you're stressed out about why you need it, or you're not going to have enough, right? These are feelings of lack, the feeling that you don't have enough money, enough time, enough value, et cetera, et cetera. I need more education. I need to give you more information. I need to bombard you and give you like 80 million things that you don't need just so you feel that I have value. You can't, when you're feeling that place, those feelings of lack, when you feel like you're missing something, you cannot actually create something that will move you towards bigger goals that create within yourself the faith that you can take care of your own needs. And that, I want to say that again, creating and developing that faith that you can take care of your own needs, that your business can take care of its own needs and your needs. So my client, by sitting down and doing the work and focusing on what she was creating, she was able to actually create something instead of run around and try to get somebody else to fill her up, right? The love, oftentimes we want love is so that somebody else can fill us up and take care of our needs. The reason we work for other people is so they will give us money and take care of our needs. But you're an entrepreneur. If you're an entrepreneur, you've chosen to not let everybody else fill up your needs and to make your business work to achieve your goals, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, to achieve them, hold them, and feel satiated and satisfied from them. You have to do it for yourself. And that comes from the belief that you can do it and you can create it. If somebody takes it away, you can create it again. And that means you developing the skills and sitting down and doing the work and moving from the motivation. This is key, about what you're creating, not what you're trying to prevent. So if you're looking for money to create safety, that's about trying to prevent a catastrophe. If you're looking for love so that you don't feel lonely, that's about trying to prevent loneliness. If you're looking for money so that you can build and create products and services and emotions of joy in people and things like that, that is about creating. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, one of the things just talked about was that you cannot create when you're in that state of feeling lack, or anytime you feel stress, anytime you feel a contractive emotion, that is a sign that you are in a state of lack. If you're thinking there's not enough time, not enough money, not enough anything, not enough value, not you don't feel worthy enough, any of those feelings, those are literally feelings of stress. And you cannot create from those places. All you can do is recycle what you've already done, which is going to get you exactly what you already have. So to get something different, you have to create, which means creating from a place of feeling expansive. So I want to teach you a little trick as we move into the new year to get yourself out of that contractive feeling of lack. We want to start by thinking about what we have right now. And we want to think about the things that are so obvious that you take it for granted. Like, I have air to breathe right now. So you can say this right now with me. You can do this. I have air to breathe right now. Especially if you're feeling stressed, do it now. Say it with me. I have air to breathe right now. I have air to breathe right now. I have air to breathe right now. And then you think about, what else do you have? Well, I have a heart that pumps my blood right now. I have a heart that pumps my blood right now. And you keep doing this, you keep saying the things that you have, and you eventually start to see some other things that you have. Because when you're in a feeling of lack, you're focused on what you don't have. And to create, you have to focus on what you do have. You cannot create from what you don't have. You can only create from what you have. So you begin to think, what else do I have? Well, I have tenacity right now. Tenacity is one of my superpowers. I have tenacity right now. I have resilience right now. I have motivation right now. I have a high opinion of myself right now. Maybe you don't have a high opinion of yourself yet, but maybe there are certain things that you have a high opinion of yourself about. I have strength in my legs. I have feet that allow me to walk. I have the ability to listen right now. I have the ability to slow down and pay attention and move with awareness right now. And so you begin to start to realize and collect these things that you have. These are things that we take for granted because we have them. They are a part of us. And when you have them, you can create. So I have creativity right now. I have thoughts to put dots together right now. And so when you start to look at things from that place and you want to reach your goal, what is the goal that you're trying to create? What are you trying to create from that goal? If I'm trying to create love, I can only create that from within me. If I'm trying to create safety, I can only create that within me. But realizing all the things that I do have, the tenacity, the resilience, the motivation, the creativity, the ability to put the dots together, all of those things, that is what makes me safe. That is what makes me lovable. That is what will help me to create the goals. So when you start moving from those things that you do have right now, you start to feel neutral. And when you start to feel neutral and you keep talking about, what do I have right now, until you feel neutral, then you can start to see the possibilities of what you can create. And so why is it that you want to lose that weight? Like, do you want to create strength? Do you want to create resilience? And those are measurable goals because you can be more strong than you were yesterday. You can be more resilient than you were yesterday. You can't be more loved by the world necessarily than you were yesterday because that's not a measurable goal. That is not an achievable goal. You could be more loved, but how would you know? But within you, you can feel that you're more strong. You can feel that you're more resilient. You can feel that you're more tenacious. If you're looking for that money so that you can streamline the systems in your business, right? That is a measurable goal that creates efficiency. You can create more efficiency. If you had the $1,000,000, perhaps you would be hiring some people to help you with your systems to create efficiency. That is an achievable goal. That is why you might want the $1,000,000 is so you can create better systems. Maybe you want the $1,000,000 so that you can give your employees a raise, and that will help them feel motivated and driven so that you can create the bigger purposes of your goal, which might be to create a product that helps people. So, again, what are you trying to create with your goals? Your motivation matters. And I want to show you this example of how much your motivation matters. You know, when you get on a sales call with somebody and you're the customer, you can feel whether that salesperson is in it for their own greedy, like, I'm going to take from you, or they are in it for, I have something to give you. I have something that's going to be of value for you. You can really feel the difference, right? We talk about the slimy used car salesman is just like in it for them, is going to lie and cheat and all those things because they're trying to take from you. So if you're selling from that place of, I have this creation to give you, something that has been created for you, and I'm working to create a relationship with you. I'm working to create value for you instead of I'm trying to take your money. It feels very different. And you're much more likely to buy from the person that is trying to create than the person who is trying to take. So if you're looking for $1,000,000 so that you can feel safe, you're trying to take. Essentially, you're looking for the money to create the safety. So I'm going to take the safety from the money. I'm going to take the love from whoever wants to give it to me. That's why I have to get the good body so that I can take the love because I don't feel like I can create it for myself. Okay. So we've talked about the motivation, about what is behind your goal. This takes some deep diving. You've got to really get honest with yourself. The more honest and willing you are to be honest with yourself, the more you'll be able to create a goal that will be achievable. So perhaps maybe you realize that you want the money for safety or you want the body for love. So maybe your goal this year, instead of the great body, is how do I love myself? What is one thing I can do to love on myself? And that might be taking care of your body. So, how do I take care of my body and show that I'm loving myself? Like, even when you don't want to get up and drink the smoothie as opposed to the on the go quick crappy fast food, how is that loving your body? How is the $1,000,000 going to create? It's going to allow you to dive into your creativity so that you can create more. Like my client I was talking about, once she had that 6 months of stability of money saved, that allowed her the space to create the programs she was creating, to create the packages she was creating for her clients. And then with those, she was able to sell more. There's a billionaire, I forget his name, but he always talks about rich people pay for their living with their creativity. So they create something and that brings in money. So again, we're talking about, what are you creating? And your goals need to be about making space for you to create, or the actual creation itself. Setting yourself up to get rid of your limiting beliefs or the different mindset that might be keeping you from creating, or getting rid of your stress, dealing with your stress so that you can create. The motivation needs to be about creating something. You always hear people talk about, you get what you focus on. Well, when you're focused on creation, you're focused on something tangible that's achievable. When you're focused on preventing something, you're focused on something that's not real. It's not achievable. You'll never be able to prevent something permanently. It's just not possible. You can create something. I can take these Legos and build a little house structure, but nothing in the world I could do would prevent it from being destroyed or being taken away. There's nothing you could do to prevent it fully and completely. So it's preventing is never an achievable goal, but creating is an achievable goal. So as you think about these New Year's goals, I want you to think about, what are you creating as opposed to what are you trying to prevent? If you're trying to create love, well, that doesn't come from having a great body. It comes from loving yourself enough to be open and to really create that connection between two people. Because that's what love is the connection. It's not how you look and the attention and the validation and all of those things. All of those things are just things that you're trying to do to fill up your lack. A lot of people are chasing the money, chasing the business success to fill up those feelings of lack, which is never going to happen. You would never fill up the feelings of lack until you start creating. Creating is what will fill up those feelings of lack. Okay. I want to leave you with a couple of questions so that you can start to really understand where a lot of your motivation is. So, if I waved a magic wand and give you everything that you thought you wanted, how would you sabotage it? Because remember, if I gave you the $10 million, $500 million business, you would have to do the works to maintain it and to hold it at that pace. So how would you sabotage it? What would you do? What would be the things that you would do that would cause everything you want to fall away? I know there are things that you would do, because otherwise you would have everything that you say you wanted. I know there's something. Dig deep on this. You might want to take some time and journal about this, because if there wasn't something you would do to sabotage it, you would already have it. That's why lottery winners are broke within 3 years. What do they do to sabotage those millions of dollars that they win? Maybe they didn't learn how to invest it. Maybe they wanted people to like them, so they bought people a lot of things. They bought their friends. Maybe they didn't feel like they were good enough, and so they gave their money away to try and make up for that feeling of lack. So how would you sabotage it if you had everything you wanted? If you had the goal that you are going after this year, how would you sabotage it? Okay. The other question I want to leave you with is, we got to think about, we create these goals every day in and day out. What do you have to do to achieve them? You hear people like Kobe Bryant talk about it's not about the end game, it's about the process, that you have to fall in love with the process. And so here's a question to help you think about the process. Now, if it all ends tomorrow, and you know that every day you have to do something that creates progress, what would you feel proud of yourself for having done? And now other people can't factor into it. So it can't be something you do for other people. It has to be something you do for yourself. And you have to create the balance of taking care of the organism of you. Like there are some days when resting and staying in bed all day might actually be the thing that creates the progress for you. So other people can't factor into it. So you can't be doing it for somebody. And this really pulls back that idea of time. Like I have to achieve this by this time, right? Lots of us grew up saying, okay, I'm going to get married at 25, kids at 28, blah, 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 like these things. And we put these time limits on when we're supposed to do things by. And the truth is the goals that are really for you, like really for you, the ones that will make you feel good about yourself, the ones that will make you feel proud of yourself, when you achieve them, they are about you and there is no time limit. Like if it's really important for me to learn how to play the guitar, I'm going to keep practicing until I learn how to play the guitar. I'm going to keep because maybe I want to create music. That's maybe my thing. And so I'm going to keep practicing until I can create music and then create better music and create better music. And every day that I practice, I would feel proud of myself. So when you think about your goals and when you're working towards your goals and when you're thinking about your everyday, think about if it ends tomorrow, what would you feel proud of yourself for having done? I know it sure as hell isn't going to be get a really good body so that I could get love. That's not going to make you feel proud of yourself. Now, working out so that you feel good, so you have strength and resilience and you have energy, that might make you feel good. And that's what we talk about, the process. You have to love the process because every day that you do something towards making yourself feel proud of yourself in a way that's really about you, not about other people, is going to make you feel good about yourself. So if you can live that day, every day, whatever it is, where you feel proud of yourself for what you have done, what you accomplished, the progress that you made, while taking care of the organism of you, while not worrying about other people, you will reach your goals. As long as your goals are about creating something. It doesn't matter when you reach them, but if you're making that progress every day in a way that you feel proud of yourself, you will reach them. All right, this is kind of a different take on goals. And now everyone's like, do this, do that, set your goals, get motivated, blah, blah, blah. But I really wanted to talk about what's underneath the goal setting because the bottom line is people aren't reaching their goals. And I mean, it's something so simple. It's 42% more likely that you'll reach your goal just by writing it down. So that in itself is a big thing. But so often we reach those goals and we don't feel satiated. We don't get what we wanted because we don't realize that what we really wanted was something other than our quote goal. Like, oh yeah, sure, I feel great and sure I have more energy, but I still didn't get the love that I wanted. Sure, I have 6 months of my bills covered for the next for my business. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Sure, I have 6 months covered for my business where I quote, don't have to worry about money, but I don't feel safe because what I really wanted was safety. And that can only come from the things that I create and knowing that I can create them again and again and again. All right. I hope this was helpful for you all. If you want some tips on how to kind of unwind some of those things that might be getting in the way of your goals, I have the free guide out there, 3 secrets that the business gurus never talk about. It's to help you grow your business and have fun doing that. And you can grab that at bethewolfgift.com. So pick it up, read it over. It's got some valuable tips in there. You'll also get immediate access to how to expand your success zone, which is super cool. So happy goal setting, happy goal achieving. And I'm wishing you all the best for 2025. We'll see y'all later. And remember, when you unleash the power of you, that's what we've been talking about. Unleash the power of you means that creation that comes from you. What are you going to create? When you unleash the power of you, humanity evolves. And we'll see you next time on Be the Wolf. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.